We tend to think of libraries as these really quiet, kind of static places, right? But underneath that calm surface, there's this huge, massive logistical operation going on. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the incredible tech. Everything from invisible data systems to actual physical robots that's completely changing how libraries work. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're looking for a specific book, the online catalog swears it's on the shelf, but it's just gone. Or maybe you're just stuck in a long line trying to check out and get on with your day. Look, these aren't just little annoyances. They're actually symptoms of a really huge operational challenge that libraries have been facing forever. Think about it. For centuries, running a library has meant dealing with these constant, really labor-intensive problems. Every single book that gets returned has to be manually sorted and put back on the shelf. Taking inventory, it's a total nightmare. Scanning thousands of items one by one. The whole system is just fundamentally prone to human error. So the big question is, how is technology finally starting to solve this ancient problem? All right, so the first part of the solution, well, it's probably not what you're thinking. It's not some big, flashy robot. It's actually something much more subtle. It's all about tackling the massive information problem first. I mean, how can a library possibly know where every single book is all the time, in real time? Well, the answer lies in a tiny, tiny tag. And here it is. The foundational tech is called RFID, which stands for Radio Frequency Identification. To put it really simply, it's basically a smart tag that can shout out its own identity using radio waves. And here's the key. Unlike a barcode, you don't even need to see it to scan it. And that one little difference, as you're about to see, changes absolutely everything. And what's really wild is the history of this stuff. RFID feels so modern, but it was actually pioneered way back in World War II to identify friendly aircraft. Can you believe that? And from there, its journey was just all over the place. It was used for tracking everything from nuclear materials to, believe it or not, cattle, long before anyone ever thought to put it inside a library book. So here's the crucial difference. This is what makes RFID a total game changer, compared to the good old barcode we all know. A barcode needs that direct line of sight, and you have to scan each item one at a time. But with RFID, you could take a whole stack of books, pass them over a reader, and scan them all at once. Instantly. It's just so much faster, more durable, and way, way more efficient. Okay, so let's look at how this works in the real world. From just a single screen, a librarian can basically become the master of the entire collection. They can check books in and out, tag new items, search the whole database. It gives them complete and total information control. And for both you and the library staff, this is what that control actually looks like. That old process of scanning each book one by one, gone. Now you just place a stack of books on the reader, and bam, the system checks them all in or out, and the database is updated in like a fraction of a second. It's that fast. So when you have an RFID tag tucked inside every single book, the library's database basically becomes this perfect live map of the entire collection. That massive data problem we talked about, the brains of the whole operation, is pretty much solved. Every single book is accounted for in real time. Okay, that's amazing. The system knows where every book is, and it knows exactly where every book is supposed to go. But that just leads to the next really big question, right? Who or what is going to do all the physical work, all the heavy lifting? And this is where we move from the world of invisible data to very visible robotics. So if RFID is the brains of the operation, this next piece of technology, well, this is the hands. So what researchers have come up with are systems like this one, a microcontroller-based robotic arm. It's designed for one specific job, to handle individual books. Its whole purpose is to be the physical link between that perfect digital database and the actual physical shelves. It grabs books for you, and it puts returned books back exactly where they belong. And let's take a look at the actual design. The whole system moves on these ceiling-mounted rails, which is a really smart idea because it keeps the floor totally clear for people. So it travels up and down the aisles and then uses a pulley system to lower a grabbing mechanism down to the exact shelf it needs. So how does this thing actually think? Well, this flowchart here lays out the logic pretty clearly. It's a clean sequence. You make a request, a master controller finds the book's unique location in that perfect database, and then it tells the arm to follow the absolute shortest path to go get it. It's just a beautifully simple and logical process. Let's just walk through it step by step. So you request a book on an app. The master Arduino board instantly identifies the book's unique address. Then, a slave Arduino right on the arm itself calculates the shortest path. The motors kick in, moving the arm to the location. The grabber comes down and picks up the book, and finally, the arm brings it all the way back to the counter for you. Simple, super efficient, and completely automated. Okay, so when you put these two revolutionary technologies together, the brains of the RFID system and the hands of this robotic arm, what does the library of tomorrow actually look like? What does it feel like? And this is the most important thing to get. It's not about brains versus hands. It's brains and hands. The real power here, the magic, it comes from that integration. The RFID system gives you the perfect real-time data, and the robotic system takes that perfect data and acts on it in the physical world. It really is a perfect partnership.
You know, the researchers who proposed this robotic arm, they really summed it up perfectly. They said, the described system reduces time, labor, and brings about a safe and innovative way to manage libraries. And that's the whole point, right? This isn't just tech for tech's sake. It's about making libraries better.
So why does any of this actually matter? Well, for you, it means near-instant book retrieval, no more searching the shelves. It means 24/7 automated returns and sorting, and it means the inventory is always perfect. For librarians, it's a huge deal. It frees them up from all that tedious manual labor so they can focus on what they do best, serving the community. It's just a better library for absolutely everyone. And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. When the books can literally manage themselves, what new purpose can a library serve its community? You know, when it's no longer just a warehouse for books, it's real purpose. As a community hub, as a learning center, as a shared public space, that can finally, truly take center stage. And that is a future that's absolutely worth building.